Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today here at NOVITEC to check out something that I have been looking forward to ever since I first heard it existed. Behind me in the showroom we have NOVITEC Senna with the RACE GTR exhaust, over 100 horsepower more than standard, some new wheels and other modifications. And in a moment we're going to pull the car out of the showroom, experience the sound of it as it starts on up and then hop on board to go for a ride to take it all in. Now it's pretty sunny at the moment, but there are definitely thunderstorms over that way. Hopefully we can avoid those, and later on take a look as well at NOVITEC's new McLaren GT. Let's do this though, the Senna is waiting inside, let's go take a look and bring it on out. Firstly though, let me show you this car here in the showroom, sandwiched between two of the 812 Enlagos, looking spectacular. But just take this in for a moment and the changes that have been made. The first thing that you will notice are the new wheels. The MC3 wheels, 20 inch at the front, 21 inch at the rear, still centre lock but an inch larger than the standard ones. Then come round towards the back, where here we have the RACE GTR exhaust tips. You will notice they're reminiscent of the GTR version of the Senna. They've had to be angled a little lower because of course these pop flames and you don't want to burn the underside of the carbon fibre wing. Now the 4-litre twin-turbo V8 has a power increase thanks to the N-Tronic module, which takes it up from the standard 800 horsepower to just over 900 and torque up from 800 newton meters to 888. We're talking 102 horsepower more, 88 newton meters more, and still with 800 kilos of downforce. That means 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, which is normally a mere 2.8, is now only 2.7. 0 to 200 kilometers an hour, that's 124 miles per hour, used to be 6.7 and is now 6.5. This is fast, but I think we need to hear it. So let's not hang around. Let's get this fired into life, take it on outside, and then hop on board to go for a ride. Are you ready for this then? Cold start of the McLaren Senna with the RACE GTR exhaust. Oh, wow. Okay, I knew it would be louder than the normal car, but that's a whole lot louder. Now it sounds how it looks. Now it really sounds how it looks. I'm going to head on out. That sounds good. The wing obviously pivots as it adjusts and calibrates, but that is something else. Oh, that was cool, seeing it move. That is ridiculous. That is so much louder than standard. That's not what I expected, to be honest. I knew it would be good, but I didn't think it would be that good. A little bit quieter. We'll hop on board in a second and go out for a ride. We've had it idling a little bit longer, so the aircon is running and the engine is a little bit warmer. So let's climb on board. There's a button just in here to pop open the door. That opens up. We've got the McLaren logo on the sills, the yellow seat belts, the center seats, and, well, full carbon tub. Wow, even just a few revs up, that already sounds like it means business. So let me get belted up inside here. We have the full glass windows, no tints on those, out the side and also up over the roof, if you can just see that. Looks like the weather is becoming a little bit nicer. So on board, some aircon. This is very welcome because today is spectacularly warm and stuffy. It was basically raining briefly a moment ago and very, very humid, but away we head. The wing looking ridiculous in the mirror as ever. And actually at slow speeds it sounds okay, not too crazy, not much dramatically more noisy than standard. Obviously we've got a very low front end to watch out for, but I get the feeling when we get higher through the revs, it's where the sound is going to get. Yeah, there we go, just started to hear a little bit more of the insanity and mental exhaust on this thing, which we'll head slightly further away to experience more. I mean, any Senna is crazy, just the noises and sounds and feel of being on board this thing. Obviously I'm lucky to have experienced it so much with mine, but I feel like we're going to have some enjoyment with this in a moment. Oh, there we go. I can hear more of the sound now. I've got a lot of aircon blowing at me, obviously kind of need that right now. Definitely a firm ride, no way to get around that with a car like the Senna. At the moment we have the active dynamics panel in sport and sport mode, handling and powertrain, which is where you basically get the optimum pops and bangs and noises and cracks on shifts and those kind of things that we all enjoy so much, which I suspect we're about to hear. Wow. Okay, that starts to sound pretty epic and the torque feel in imagine with about 900 Newton meters, certainly gives you that feeling of pushing on and on and on. Obviously max power comes up towards the top, about 7,100 RPM. But inside here, I mean, it's just a proper sound of a V8 behind us, almost a fizzing noise. I guess as we downshift a little bit, is where we start to get some proper sound from it as well. Nice. There we go, there's one of those pops that I was waiting for. Kind of like the 675 LT. The Senna does it a little bit, but obviously... That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. It's when you pull away like that, you just get a little bit more fizz and sound from it. And now we have a little tunnel, so... Well, that sounded pretty insane. Wow, with the window open, you hear so much more of the fizz sound, almost like in the Largo 720S. This is cool. Sound is really, really intoxicating. It's what this car needed to have, really. Just a little bit more liveliness from it. Obviously, it's very, very sparse inside here. The carbon dash, I mean, we're sitting inside, obviously, the carbon mono cage. Oh, wow! Wow, that sounded cool. That crack in the tunnel, I wasn't seeing that coming at all in the slightest. Yeah, that was pretty mega. That was kind of reminiscent of the 675 LT days. I remember the first time I ever experienced a crack from my LT when shifting through a tunnel, and it sounded like that, and it was just beyond epic. Obviously, we've got the dashboard up, it can be folded down into the lower race setting. We've got the tablet in the center with the controls, but also the track telemetry data and tire pressures and sensors and things going on in there. This car has the yellow gas struts for the doors to match the yellow accents on the outside, the yellow seat belts, all of those details. Wow, we need to hear another crack or two out of the exhaust. Oh, those noises are good. At the low RPMs, it's not crazy. The car only gets really, really, really loud. I mean, this is 7th gear just crawling at 100 kilometers an hour, and it's quite sane, it's quite sanitized. It's just when you're up towards the top end of the rev range, this Senna becomes a totally different ball game as things get a whole lot louder. Case in point. Wow. As we come back to this tunnel, I am going to put the windows down for a moment again. First gear in the tunnel. Wow, wow, wow. Nice. That's like an explosion going off behind. Those bangs. That's absolutely ridiculous. The sounds are mega. That's actually the noise of fuel going through the exhaust. Ignition cut, basically igniting it because of how hot it is, and literally setting off a little fireball. At night you'd have blue flames firing out the back. Obviously on the shifts, when you get that explosion, you'd have a little yellow pop. That's mega. And we have returned back to base with this, quite frankly, bonkers machine. Being a Senna, that is the door release on the roof, which a lot of people don't realise. You pop the door out, I'm going to climb on out, and we will awkwardly make my way out from the right hand side, close this, and we can take a little listen to what it sounds like. Listen to the sound of that. Ferocious, angry, aggressive. I think we need to hear a few more, really. Now that is how a McLaren Senna should sound. That is a proper exhaust note, quite a unique exhaust note as well through this car. I approve an awful lot. It's mental. Even just the slow speed movements sound cool with this thing. Yeah, a normal Senna does not sound like that, and obviously the twin exhaust, the GTR style, that's pretty epic, isn't it? I feel like this is how my Senna should sound, but then it probably wouldn't be so easy to take it to some tracks because it would be over the decibel limits. Always something you have to think about. From outside, it's so much more aggressive than inside. You don't hear anything like all of that. The noise you can hear then is the arrival of the new NOVITEC package for the McLaren GT, where they've created a carbon fibre exterior package and a new exhaust system for this, which is a completely different sound. That's so much deeper and rougher, if I could say, than the sound of the Senna. Of course, the McLaren GT has effectively a lower tuned version of that 4-litre twin-turbo V8. Normally it would be just over 600 horsepower. This car has an increase on that. New wheels, lower ride height, lip at the rear, as you can see. Obviously new exhaust tailpipes that sound a lot louder, new skirts, and around towards the front as well. It also has the extended NOVITEC carbon lower splitter, which sticks significantly further out towards the front. We've also got these lovely carbon pieces over the louvres, but obviously the GT, all about luggage space with this much larger rear hatch, which in this case is actually completely tinted and dark glass. But yeah, looks pretty cool, doesn't it? That start, that's actually running the cold start again, which you can tell is so much deeper and angrier. I'm amazed. This is with a full headers back system, so that's a totally different noise. Anyway, let's come through and climb on board. I've ridden in a GT before. It's a new model, of course. You pop the door like that, lifts on out, significantly easier to step into than the Senna, with more comfortable seats, because this is GT, the Grand Tourer, comfortable McLaren, and you can experience that inside. Everything's just a little bit more refined in terms of the materials and finish and style and design. So I think this is also going to sound pretty cool, which we'll head on out with in just a moment with the view there of the Senna over behind us. Look at that thing. At the moment we have the aircon on full blast, which you do through the new system in here, so you can turn that down a little bit. This is actually a significantly updated control versus the system even in the Senna new generation, where you have all of these controls, but we'll just leave it be for the time being. It's a very familiar McLaren feel, but a very different style. The way the sound is delivered, it's such a lower pitch. Okay. I mean, it's not crazy loud like the Senna is crazy loud, but there's certainly more tone to it. Still get those turbo flutters. This is a nice place to be. For McLaren's kind of entry baby Grand Tourer, this thing certainly gets a move on. I can feel that a lot. There's a lot of torque and power going on in here. That's very cool, the noises you can hear, some of the turbo sounds. Oh, got a nice bang out of it there. Yeah, this sounds significantly better than a standard McLaren GT. Small stretch of Autobahn then. Always good fun. When you hope a gap is coming in front, but on the de-restricted Autobahns. Yeah, this is fast. This is really fast. Don't underestimate the McLaren GT, because that got to 260 out of nowhere. I mean, it is still a GT compared to the Senna in terms of the sound and drama. But this is where it's really comfortable, even though we're cruising at 200 plus, and we've got some sun through the lovely glass roof. The whole roof is glass, which is very nice as well. Short tunnel. Oh wow, that sounded cool. That sounded really cool, the sound out of it there. Oh nice. Okay, downshift's a mega. And for the because it's probably going to get mad as we experience this as well. Cars and tunnels, hey? Always good fun. Yeah, mission success. We're back. The Senna is back inside the showroom. It has to be said, two very different driving experiences. The NOVITEC cars based on McLaren original models. That was awesome, thank you. Out we hop. We've got to hear it a little bit then, don't we? Let's have some sounds. I definitely saw a little flame from that. I definitely saw a little flame popping out, but you can hear on the revs. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds very cool. Well, the GT is heading back round towards the rear. Sounds so good, doesn't it? And of course, back here, the Senna is now inside the showroom, sandwiched between the two stunning 812 and Largos. Look at this, Rosso Fiorano with that interior. This is absolutely stunning. That's really, really nice. And then this car I've seen before, the Rosso Corsa with the silver wheels. I definitely am always a big fan of silver wheels. So, some McLaren fun with the NOVITEC cars, including this, which is pretty much what I hoped it was going to be. An awesome sound out of the NOVITEC Senna. So a big thanks to NOVITEC for the opportunity to come down and share this car with you. Is it not the craziest sounding Senna that you've probably ever heard? For now though, thanks for watching. As always guys, I appreciate your support an awful lot. But that's it for this time. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.